Hello guys, welcome to Devlog Book. My name is Marcos and today we're gonna learn about how to implement a column-wise traversal in a matrix. This is a playlist, the jungle of matrices, and this is how we did in the last class. And some row-rise method. Today we're gonna learn about column-rise. But however, before we continue, we must watch this and think how we can do better, how we can improve this. So I did some improvements followed by this document that I am writing. It's a document about job experiences as a software engineer. This is specifically about software architecture. And there is some architecture. So a lot of architectural fields, good architecture, how to separate layers, folder, but we're gonna stay here in the solid principles. The first one, it's say a class must be exist to execute just one thing. Classes with hundreds of lines is an example of do not follow this principle. So this class is not good at all. It's a lot of things in the same file. So what I did was this. I created a new project and all these things that you hear astonish this file program.cs now is clean. It's better to understand. So what I did, if you can see here, we are initializing this two-dimensional matrix. So I thought, well, let's create a function to do this in a matrix utus. So I created this file, matrix utus, and inside of it, I created a static as well as we did. I already talked in the last class what the reason why the static here. And I created this function, build squared two-dimensional matrix. I passed the order and I apply this algorithm to create it for me. And I can use it anytime instead of just put this in the program.cs. This is a way to separate responsibilities. And after that, I create this class, square 2D matrix. This class here is a static class as well, static function. If I do it without static comment, we're gonna dive into design patterns, singleton, factor, abstract factor, decorator, strategy. There was a lot of design patterns, actually 21. I do not remember. I recommended you guys to read a book, Gang of Force. The Gang of Force have all these design patterns and how it works. It's very useful. And so I got a static function here, row-rise, I passed the matrix, and then it's exactly the same thing that I was doing here. Look at that, take a look. Inside the program CS, I just separated to a new file, a new class, everything in your place. It works. I do the same with the jagged. Here, the matrix you choose. Create a jagged. However, here I got a quite different because I do not pass just integer. A jagged matrix, as you know, can have different number of columns for each row. So I created a function that you pass an array of each element of this array is a row. And the value is the number of columns. So what I did here, I want a jagged matrix. At the first line, have 3 columns. Second line, 2 columns. And the third line, 4 columns. So it's worked fine. Let's do it. Let's try. Alright, it's done. It works. So I'm gonna share this project in my GitHub, public for everyone. So if you wanna test in your computer. If you want to change something, feel free. I will always use C# and Microsoft technology. I want to share the Microsoft technology, and if you take this project, run in your machine, change, grow up, and make your own tests, it's going to be very important to the community, C# community. So I recommend you guys to do this. And the last one is the list of matrix. Actually, we're going to change this name, build matrix. We're going to just call it build list matrix. And take this, the matrix you choose, the name of the function is that. It's intuitive, it's better. Yes. And the row rise of the list matrix we already did in the last class here is the same. I just copy and paste from this to this place. And the comments, I separated each one of them as well. So what I'm going to do now is to create a GitHub to share this with you guys. And this is my GitHub. Here's some projects, Dijkstra. We're gonna study about it. But however, this I make in Python, and there is Java project, genetic algorithms. So feel free to watch this. We're gonna create a new repository. We're gonna call it the jungle of matrices. Alright, it's available. It's a public, no, not a readme, nothing, just create a repository. Yeah, alright, it's done. Then what I'm gonna do here, it's to create, initialize the GitHub here. It's just go to the directory of the project, and jungle of matrix. Open the shell. You can use CMD, PowerShell, whatever you want. Alright, so git init. Initialize it. Git init. And we're gonna make git status. So git add dot. I was forgetting this comment, .NET new git ignore. I needed before to make a first commit. So I already run git init. So after that, new git ignore in the directory of the project. And now we're gonna git status to see. Alright, git add dot. Alright, git status again. Okay, everything is okay. So git commit with the message first commit. Committing. So now we're gonna create the main branch of the project. So git branch dash m uppercase. With the name of branch, someone created a mine, other one master. I don't know what's the best way. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna do mine to follow the GitHub, the full example here. This is an example that I am following. They're gonna create the branch. Alright. So we're going to associate the current repository with the GitHub repository with this command. In the source directory, let's clear the screen. Alright, done. And so push orange mine. Let's take a look in the git branch. Mine here, the name of it. It looks like everything is okay now. Let's make a refresh here. And the project's here. We're gonna make a readme later. There was a layer to build a good readme. Have to describe the folder structure, what the project is, and a lot of information to help the future developers who are gonna work in your project. You have to think ahead, think in the future. You do not making the code for yourself. Sooner or later, someone is gonna take it to make some change, future fix, to work in your project. So it's better good documentation. It's better you build a good documentation, and the README is the fundamental, the kernel of it. So what we're gonna do now, it's column rise. It's already time to do it. So with this class, we're gonna make another function here. It's called column rise, public static column rise. You're gonna receive a list of integers called list matrix, and it's public static void, and you just want to print an std out. So we're gonna do the console log here. Console write, not JavaScript. And column rise traversal. And the next line, from top to bottom. First step here, we're gonna create a variable. We should call it rows. We're gonna receive the list matrix count. The size of this list matrix is the rows. The next one goes. And there is something very interesting, because we're gonna receive a list of lists, and we're gonna do the algorithm inside it. However, I don't know how many colors there is here. It can be different number of colors, it can be a jagged matrix. So we're gonna do here, it's check the max. Using link of C# row and row dot count. What I'm doing here, I am taking the greater column, the greater column of this list matrix. What row has more columns? This line is doing this. It's so, as I told you in the last class, I for line, J for column. It's just make now, what works, how a column rise works. This is an image. Represent what we're gonna do. We're gonna go from the first position and go the column by line first instead of column by column. So the first step is to create an external loop in J. In J less than calls. J++. And inside is another loop, and then the row less than rows, I++. Inside of it, I'm gonna make an if here. If J is less than list matrix in position I dot count. So I'm gonna inside and make a console dot write here. Just write. We're gonna write a string here, and this is list matrix in position I, in position J, and the space here. And forget this space. Why I have to j less than list matrix I count? Because if the j it's greater, so when we're gonna arrive here, it's gonna be an error. The referent position of the memory array, it's already new, it doesn't exist. So we have to do this to confirm. That's to fix the problem of many columns. If it is a square matrix, it's easy. However, it's a rectangular matrix, can be a rectangular matrix. So we have to do this if here. It's not a good choice because it's inside two loops. This if we're gonna be executed for each time inside these two loops. However, it is what it is. This is the way we have right now. If you guys have a better way to do this, put in the comments, and this is very good for the community. After this, you're gonna be console.writeLine to break the line. Right. And that's it. Let's test. What I'm doing here, exactly what is here in this picture. I'm gonna do in the first position, go ahead, line by line. And so we're gonna arrive in the end. This is the internal loop represented by the blue arrow. We're gonna get out for this loop and go to the next column represented by the red arrow here. Let's see if this gonna works. I hope this works. I already got a list matrix here, 4x4, 3x3, and it's already showing the row rise. It's just called list matrix, column rise, passing the same list matrix. Now let's see what's gonna happen here. Alright, it's done. This is the row rise showing how the matrix is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. However, if you see, the main reason here is to change. 1, 2, 3 is here, the column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The second line here is going to be a column here. 4, 5, 6. And the last one line, the last column, 7, 8, 9. This is the diagram. I'm gonna share this with you guys as well, or in the project, GitHub project, or in the comments on YouTube. So, the next class, we're gonna learn about zigzag, how to traverse a matrix as a zigzag. And we're gonna resolve some challenge of programming, mining with matrix questions, traversal method questions. And I recommended you guys to use GPT. It's very important to expand your vocabulary and languages. And even the program, do not ask the GPT build the code for you. Use as well, train as well, do code in your own, test, and so send to the GPT and ask them what improve I can make it. This is a good choice. I hope you enjoy, guys. Waiting for the next video. Let's give it a best shot.